Hello, Mr. Brolin. Welcome to my business model development reflection. Let me begin first by saying that starting my own business has been a goal of mine. I entered SP hoping that I'll pick up some of the necessary skills to be an entrepreneur, but it was not to be until this module came about. Admittedly, I was skeptical as to what I'll be learning at first, as I had some bad experience with an entrepreneurship workshop in SP. However, in the end, I must say that I was surprised at how much I actually learned. These are my key takeaways from this module.
The first lesson I learned was when we explored the business model canvas. The entrepreneurship workshop I mentioned earlier had actually introduced me to the lean canvas, but I found the BMC to be a more flexible tool than the lean canvas. Furthermore, the BMC has an emphasis on the customer, which I find the most important in a business. Overall, the BMC to me is a valuable tool in developing a business plan, as it allows me to see the bigger picture of my business idea, as well as be able to focus on individual segments if I so wish to do so. The BMC is also a very fluid tool, which is essential when making business plans, as no business plan remains the same. When doing the project, I found it difficult to explain my business idea clearly, as well as remember the nuances of the idea. The BMC definitely helped a lot in regards to my problem. Thus, it is a tool that I will definitely use in the future when starting my own business, as I'm someone who prefers things to be organized or segmented in a way for easy reading and understanding. The second lesson was on design thinking. Although I have frequently been taught this in many other modules, in modules such as Gen Ed, it was to tackle a social issue and not venture creation. The change in perspective has allowed me to realize the usefulness of design thinking, which I did not have in the past. I have always thought of it to be a very artsy thing and not very useful for business. But what I now found useful about design thinking was the focus on the end user. The goal is to develop useful products and solutions that fit the needs of our users, not the other way around. I feel that the human-centric approach is really how value can be found. As I try to find out what frustrations my user faces, solving these frustrations is the way that substantial value can be created. I really want to start a business in the future, but I do not have an idea in mind, and thus I find design thinking skills particularly useful in the aspect of generating ideas that are real. On the one hand, I find that it is not necessary to go through the whole design thinking process. Design on its own is rooted in innovation and creativity, and thus restricting it to a step-by-step process seems ironic to me. Design thinking, in my opinion, should be a tool that we can use any step of the way rather than a process that must be strictly followed. Third lesson I had learned was in regards to the way I learn. I've realized that I'm not the type that is able to sit and listen to a 2-hour lecture as the teacher drones on and on and on and... Oops, sorry. Even thinking about boring lectures puts me to sleep. As you may have guessed, the method of learning in BMD is right up my alley. The hands-on activities and the lively discussions have really made me remember all the concepts and tools. In particular, the paper ball throwing game really made me realize the importance of enrolling others to a common goal, as I tend to be quite an independent person. Entrepreneurship is something that needs to be experienced to learn, and thus this hands-on learning approach is well suited for this module in my opinion. Moving on, I felt that my group and I had been very resourceful and effective in coming up with a financial model for our business. As we came up with a financial model, we felt it was tough to manually input all the nuances and data points. Therefore, we have devised the ingenious solution of using Excel spreadsheet and its formulas to forecast our financial model. I felt that my group were quite quick-witted in coming up with a way of doing an effective financial model. Another way my group was effective in was crafting our enhanced value proposition. Our original value proposition was to meet the need for entrepreneurship opportunities while giving our users a sense of achievement and fulfillment. It was something that could not be solved by blackboards. Initially, we were quite lost as to what we should do. However, the discovery of new ideas and the visit to Bash has helped us create a better value proposition which is to have an online uncluttered platform for micro-entrepreneurs to grow. One area of improvement I felt for myself was the adoption of the ETNA framework. I did not realize the importance of such a framework when I was first introduced to it. Admittedly, I had once thought of it as useless. Sorry. But after going through the module, I realized how useful it is in guiding the iterative process of venture creation. When thinking of ideas, there's often a lot of back and forth due to many factors, and thus the ETNA supports such changes. The framework is especially useful to me as it can be used not only for entrepreneurship but in my life as well. The process of reflecting on the goal in mind, the means I have, who I can enroll, what I'm willing to invest, what actions I'm going to take, reflecting on my actions, and finally the idea today. Such a process really helps to focus my mind and set out my action plan to achieve my goals. I'll definitely do one about my goal in life and paste it on the wall. Personally, the things I have learned in BMD is all I've wanted to know regarding entrepreneurship. I've scoured the internet for help to start a business as well as take part in entrepreneurship workshops in SP. However, none of those were able to provide me with the required knowledge in a cohesive and coherent manner for me. It was apparent to me the effort you, Mr. So, have put into this module, and it was what I've really wanted in entrepreneurship education. The only criticisms I have is the short term we get to learn it, as well as the lack of actually trying it out ourselves. Going forward, I feel that the tools and knowledge I have learned from this module will be useful when I want to start my own business. Even if I don't do so, tools such as the ETNA framework will still be useful in helping me create goals and action plans to achieve them for my future careers. In fact, I've actually created a folder on my desktop filled with notes and slides from this module which I can use in the future. Another way this module has impacted me was the business idea that my group has come up with. In the beginning, I did not believe in the idea of black box. I had actually preferred our previous idea of links instead, our carousel for services idea. However, after completing the project and hearing the praise and possibility of such an idea becoming a reality, I realized that we might actually have a gem in our hands. Equipped with the knowledge and tools learned in BMD, I think there is a possibility of such an idea coming to fruition. I'm legitimately interested in kickstarting Black Box, but of course, it will be a long road ahead and further discussions must be made with the group. But who knows, one day Black Box may just become the next big thing.